Good morning, viewers. It's Monday the 26th of January. Still quite dark. It's just getting light. I've just opened the yard. About 8 o'clock, so I've just opened up for business. So I thought I'd let you have a quick look at a bit of the yard as I'm opening up. Oh, and I have some new boots. These are a Christmas present from a friend, and if you're watching, mate, very much appreciated. They've only just been mailed ones with cheer. Here we go. So we have a display of fence panels. We've got some vertilaps there, standard vertilaps, archtop vertilaps. This is where we just display the panels, price them up for customers to see. One of the contemporary harmony panels, single-sided. This panel here is going to be changed when we get a chance for a double-sided version of that one. And you've got your single-sided palisade. These panels are quite old now. We are going to refresh them very shortly for this year. It's a single-sided palisade, single-sided archtop palisade, double-sided palisade, double-sided archtop palisade, and then on the end we have a tongue and groove panel, and then we have some room to put a few more panels as we expand and grow and get time. That's just a big pile of, that's my landlord's, it's not mine, a big pile of rocks that he's sort of dug up from somewhere, look, and he's just selling them cheap, obviously like rockery stone, etc. And in the yard we've got some round poles, 75 mils, 200 mils, some machined rounds, 2.4 metre, 8 foot pointed, some 4x4 posts, 8 foot wooden posts for 4x4s. Post mix normally goes there, but we're out at the minute. Some rock face gravel boards, 6 inch. Some budget 12 inch gravel boards. 12 inch smooth gravel boards. Some premium rock face gravel boards. 6 foot intermediate posts. Concrete, obviously. 6 foot ends, corners, 3 ways. 7 foot intermediate posts, 7 foot corners, ends, 3 ways. 8 foot intermediate posts, 8 foot corners, ends, 3 ways, go on that one. 9 foot intermediate posts, they're the longest concrete posts we do. And you've got your ends, corners, 3 ways again in the corner. There's a few 5 foots under the tree, just a few, look. Some more 8 foots there for the job that we're doing, fitting job. Then we have a display trellis. They're all 6 foot wide, and then we've got a 1 foot high, 1.5 foot in the middle, 2 foot at the bottom, 3 foot, 4 foot, a 5 foot, and a 6 foot. All on display, look, for people to see. Some picket panels, pointed top, round top, and some picket gates. So that's kind of the outside. Plenty of room, as you can see, for development further along. As you know, finances are quite tight, so it's a slow process. But minute we're doing all right. This side of the warehouse, we've got some gates, some ready-made gates. Look, picket gates, tongue and groove panels, tongue and groove at the bottom. Just a few logs. There's logs, and then. That's just like the small side of the warehouse. The bottom end's needs development. It's just used for storage at the minute. Then in here we have some trellis on stock, some timbers. Again, lots of room for as we grow to put more timbers in. It's just finance at the minute. We just can't. I can't afford to fill it up. But we've got some timbers in, some 2x2s, some 3x1 PSC. We've got some 1600 mil boards. This area is just all like cheap, rough sawn, reclaimed sort of timbers. It's popular with the local DIYers because obviously, it's cheap, and it's not it's not terrible timber. Look, it's all usable timber, and it's priced accordingly. Workshop in the back. That's where everything's made. You've seen me in there many times. It's where we produce and manufacture everything. Look. Some vertilap panels that I made yesterday. And then we've got some mouldings, architraves, beadings, window boards, all that kind of stuff. bit of PSC, bit of primed white MDF, architrave, a little bit of tongue and groove. And what we do have is a really good selection of tools. This is down to Toolbank, a brilliant company, helped me out massively with this. A lot of finance, a lot of help, and a lot of patience by them waiting for me to make payments for the goods, and a lot of help from them setting it up. They sent reps in. It's a counter where people come and pay. There you are, Fred's office. Screws, lots and lots of screws. So kind of the screws and sort of fixings area is pretty much built up. Invested quite a lot of money into that. Probably should have put a bit more into timber. That's all hinges, latches, padlock bolts, etc, etc, etc. Silicones, sweeping brushes, even paint brushes, look. Bit of all sorts. In the middle we've got some timbers, some picket gates, picket panels ready made, a bit of timber, some shed stains, tough tub buckets, metal post feet, bolt downs, roofing felt, and then here's where we have the firewood. At the minute, obviously I've sold out of all this season firewood, but it's displayed here. Bulk bags, softwood, bulk bags of hardwood, there's some empty bags that customers have returned. And then the kindling, I do all my own kindling as well. It's obviously quite popular. So that's a little tour of the yard in the shop, just so you can see a little bit more. We're just in the process of making a tongue and groove gate. I made the frame look, right hand hinged, 4x2 frame all the way around, and 4x2 for braces, really strong heavy gate. And I've got some tongue and groove boards. Again, similar to the panel, you have a starter piece and an end piece, which is usually about a board cut in half. It may have to be adjusted when I get to end, but we'll see. So I'll put you on hopefully in a position where you can see while I just finish off this panel. Sorry about that, there we go. It should be alright. I'll just move you over here and hopefully you'll have a better view. There we are. That's it, then I won't be blocking the view. As I've mentioned in a previous video, it's absolutely vital that you get these tongue groove boards fully, jointed together. The tongue, all the way into the groove. The wet, freshly treated tannalised boards, when they dry out in the sun, if they're not really tight now, then they will gap, and you're about to see it through the gate.
And here's a good example. The top bit of the board here just will not go together. There's a gap. It's the board's slightly bent, so the tongue's not all the way into the groove, and I can't pull it in enough. So as you can see, I'm just going to use an hammer and then pull it in. That's it, and it's going now. Just notice there that board's damaged. It's got a split in it at the top, so obviously I won't use that board. Just got to now get another tongue and groove board for the one that had a crack in that I put to one side, so I'm kind of on board short now for the gate. Sorry about the delay. I've had to cut another board on the saw because I'd cut exactly enough to make the gate, and then obviously cut an extra one for the damaged one that I didn't use. So I've now just got the very end board, last board to put on. I've got an off-cut piece here that's already written down, but it's not the exact size obviously. So I was going to mark it with a Sharpie and then just run it through the table. So just to run it down to the size I need just to fit the gate exactly. Just have to reduce that last tongue and groove board on table saw a little bit.
hopefully. Cut that right. On there. Lovely. Lovely.
What I'm doing here is just putting some extra nails in the outer edges of the tongue groove boards. They're not in line obviously with the other nails going across the back braces and the back frame, but just to stop the tongue groove boards from peeling away from the sides of the frame. So just some extra nails down the sides to hold them firmly in place. Just the top weather cap in to put on, which we'll put on here now. Look, with a bit of magic it's on, and then I will just nail it in place.
There we go. Have a look at that. It's a 900 wide, 6 foot high, tongue and groove gate. There you go. Nice gate, really heavy duty, really strong. And that is to go with that order with 17 tongue and groove fence panels. Most of them are 6x5, but there is some bespoke sizes on top. Smaller sizes, look, we can make the panels to exact sizes. And then again, really nice gate to match the panels.
And now we're about to cut down some feather edge boards on the radial arm saw. These are 8 foot boards, and we've got some 5 foot panels and some 3 foot panels to make. So obviously we're just going to cut the boards with an 8 foot board to get one 5 foot and one 3 foot board, as you'll see. cutting 6 boards at a time there on the saw, and I've got a metal jig stop set at 5 foot. So you push it up to that jig, and then you're obviously cutting a 5 foot, and it leaves you with a 3 foot, and 6 boards at a time, as you could see. I've got an order for 10 5 foot vertilap panels to make, which I'll put you on a time lapse while I make that. Oh, I'm going that fast, my coat's going to have to come off. And that horrible noise is what a compressor sounds like when it's speeded up 10 times. Now my coat's just going back on. I'm going to be working at normal speed. And this is the final panel, so I'll let you watch that at normal speed. Well, just have to take my coat off as I'm warming up.
And there we go. There's the 10 panels that I said I was making. They're for a local, one of our local landscape customers, contractors, regular customer, very highly valued customer, does trees and landscaping. And these are the 6x5 vertilap panels. I'm really proud of my panels, I'll be honest. I believe that they're the best panels anywhere around here. The reason for that is they're all made by hand, as you can see, by myself or by Cole. So they're made with care. We don't put damaged boards in, we don't put bent rails in. We don't try and make them. I ain't got a boss telling me if I don't make 100 panels a day, I'm going to get fired. So I want these to be as good as they can. I make them like I'm making them for myself. So they're made with care, they're made by hand. If a board cracks slightly while I'm making them, I'll run glue in the small crack. You've probably seen that. If it cracks quite badly, I'll take the board off and put a new one on. On top of that, I use the best components. The rails are 32x47mm black rails. As you can see, they are chunky rails, not some of these little 2x1 faffy things and buttons you get in other panels. You can see there we put 4 in the panel. Everything in the panel's pressure treated. There's no dip, no painted. It's all pressure treated components. The rails, the boards, the caps. The boards again, if you can see on there, they're thick boards, thick, chunky feather edge boards, not these wafer thin rubbish you get. They're the thickest and the best. And again, the caps, really chunky, quality. It's hard to see on there, I'll be honest, the image is not that good, but they're really chunky apex weather caps, not little bits of flat wood and anything we can find to stick on top. And that's personally why I believe.
And that now brings us to the end of this video of week 2, so the second video. Really do hope you enjoyed this one. There will obviously be another one next week. So thanks ever so much indeed for watching again. Our subscriber count, we now have 7 subscribers. So that's great. I mean, we moved up from 5. Hopefully see you in the next one. Cheers.